Well, everybody, it is a special day. It's Saturday. It's also 60 degrees, which is delicious. That's my McJeep. I took the top off. I'm really happy about it because I love having the top off, but it's hard for me to do because of reasons, and I'll save that for another video, but there's a peek at it. This is what I'm driving today. This is a 2014 KTM, I believe 1290 Super Duke GT or something like that, but it's a 1290 Super Duke. And it's a very interesting story about how I got out here. I've never ridden this bike before. I sought this bike out. Specifically, I wanted the second generation, but I'll take what I can get. I just wanted to drive one. I'll talk about it when I'm out there. But I've never driven it, so let me just get on this bike, and I can talk about it while I'm driving it. So, alright. I love low-end V-twin Torquies. All the rider aids are on. That's what happens when you turn the bike on for the first time. Wow. This is pretty tall, which I actually like because I'm a tall guy. I'm putting my feet down, trying to feel the ground, and it's further down than my bike. I better go. Wow, this is tall. Okay. This lane's gonna be different. Hold on, guys. I'm still figuring this bike out. The closest thing I drove to this was my friend's Aprilia. It's like a naked. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what year it was, but it's like a 4-stroke naked bike, and this is similar. It's definitely not the same. The thing about this bike is it's a twin, not a 4-stroke, so it works differently, but I mean, it's got just as much power. I'll try to save that for later. Let me go back to the original story here. Okay, so there's a sad beginning to the story, and that is I have a Ninja 650 that I ride and I love. I love that bike so much I bought it a second time. It's my second 650. Unfortunately, this is the bad news. Over time, I've known this to be the case. I've just kind of ignored it, but it's gotten worse. But over time, I've noticed that my left knee cramps. I can't describe it really, but it's just this cramp ache feeling, and it gets so bad over time when I sit on a motorcycle that it'll just like pop. I just did it right now. I like pop it every minute or two. It's actually popping as I do that. It's very strange, but it only acts up when I'm riding a bike. It kind of has to do with my knee being, bent and tucked back like this. So just because I'm on a bike, it makes my knee hurt. Specifically that bike. My older bikes didn't have that problem. It could just be, that's the way I wanted to go. Shoot, I'll have to turn around. It could just be that I'm older, my knee's broken. It happens. But my sitting position is just killing my knee. And it's gotten to the point now where it's so bad. And this is the sad thing, that it's discouraging me from wanting to ride, because I know if I go ride, my knee's gonna freaking hurt. I can't ride more than like 30 minutes at a time, and I have to get off just to stretch my knee out. It hurts so bad. Anyway, so that prompted my search for another bike. And this is where I'm going to start connecting the dots. So I was thinking, okay, well, I know what I want. I know what I'd like to try. If I can just try a different bike. Oh, geez, that's good. I'm only in second gear. That's good. Yeah, it's true. This bike isn't scary. It can be scary if you let it. It's got so much freaking power. I can feel, geez, the loo, I love that. Oh, it's great. I could feel the traction control and the anti-wheelie kind of like spinning the front down, because I was about to just go up. So that's kind of cool, but it's also kind of scary because this thing will just fly off the ground. I'm too busy telling my story to just enjoy this, but I am enjoying this right now. I love that pull. I love it. And so far, it pulls anywhere on the RPM range. It's always pulling. It's so good. Anyway, so I knew I wanted a naked bike. I've wanted a naked for a while now. I'm just changing phases a little bit. I like my super sports. I like my sports, like the fairings, but I just decided I want a naked one. I want a street fighter. I want like an industrial, combat ready, all-terrain vehicle. I don't know. But I wanted something bigger that I'd fit on better because I'm a big person. I wanted something fast that can go, really fast to go with the boys if I want to. And I really want to keep my 2-stroke because I love that noise. I love the torque. I prefer the low-end power over the top speed. And then I knew I liked the way the Super Duke looked. I'd seen it a few times, and I was like, I'm gonna go check that out. So I researched it. It's not getting to get out of the passing lane, so that's full throttle. Man, I'm catching a lot of wind. Are they seated grips? Are they on? Because my hands are really warm. I like the way the Super Duke looked. I researched it and found out, oh my gosh, that bike actually has all the requirements that I want. It's everything that I want in a bike, with the exception of, and this is the most important thing, is it gonna make my knee hurt? That's what I wanted to know. I was like, well, there's no way to know unless I ride one for a while. So I thought, well, all I have to do is post a message on Instagram, make a post just saying, hey, anybody have this bike so I can go drive it? Because I'm really fortunate like that. So I put it up, and sure enough, less than 24 hours later, I'm on a stranger's KTM, like 20 minutes away from my house, who's just super cool. His name is Justin, by the way, and he just let me go take it out. And so I get to just test ride it. It's freaking great. All right, here we go off the line, like a good boy. Whoop. I was like, let the throttle, we're wheeling here. The front wheel starts to come up and like do this. Like it's starting to get in the air. So you have to control it yourself. Oh man. That sucks, because you're tempted to just snap the throttle, but if you do, you're gonna whoop, just go up. So you have to always be in control. I mean, I know there are rider aids, and this thing is doing a lot of the work for me right now, but it's like, there's so much power all the time. It's awesome. You could be like, gear down, you could be beside somebody, just, I'm gonna go twist it slowly, like, it could go faster, I could snap it, but if I did, it would probably just, man, it's insane. Anywhere there's power. Well, I like it so far. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to ride this thing for a long time. You're not gonna see the whole ride, of course, but I'm gonna ride, just see how my knee is doing. Right now it's okay, and that's what's prompted this whole search for a different bike, because my knee is just killing me. Oh geez. We need to do some starts and stops. I need to get some lights and get used to gearing down and putting my feet in the ground and see how that feels. Actually, I want to go this way. All right, well, we're going to use the brakes, which work really good, by the way. Really good. This turning is like weird because I'm sitting upright. I'm not used to that. Oh. But how can you not, you can never get sick of being able to do this. It's so nice to be able to do that whenever you want. That's what's so cool about this bike. So they can go fast, but you can be lazy on it. You can cruise, and I know the newer one, the Gen 2, has cruise control, which I would totally make use of. And like, I can just, you know, I'm comfortable right now, just kind of holding the throttle a little bit, but I can always just go fast. It's so cool so far, man. Man, what I really want to do is just kind of like throttle and dig deep like this. But it's, the balance on this bike is weird. It's really weird because I'm not used to it. Like, you know, I think the seat is higher off the ground than mine, and that's saying something because it's like cocooned in there, which I like, by the way. I like being like kind of saddled. Like the 600 or the R6 I had, the seat was pretty flush with the surface of the bike, and it looks great, but it's not particularly comfortable. I like being saddled in, and even though it's, you know, the seat's like into the bike, my feet are still, it's a little taller than my 650, that's for sure. I can tell by like flattening my foot on the ground. So that's appreciated. I appreciate a bigger size because I'm a bigger person. So this isn't a stock exhaust. It's got a, I forgot what the exhaust is called. It's got an exhaust pipe on there. So, I mean, depending on what exhaust you have, it'll grunt differently, but it's got that low grunt that I like. To be honest though, my 650 has an even lower grunt and the pops are really deep, and I just love that. This is pretty close though. It doesn't sound or necessarily look like you're gonna go start trouble either, but all of a sudden, trouble! Front wheel came up. I'm not even pulling it that hard. That's the scary thing about this bike. At any point, whee, you can just fly and not even try. Now, I really do like the way this bike looks. Namely, it's the trellis. It's that frame on the side. I think it looks great. There are some modifications I would do to make this look more unique and more what I would prefer. But, I mean, the base bike aesthetically is already pretty good, and I know how I'd modify it to make it look, in my mind, freaking amazing. But I'm not really worried about how it looks right now. I'm worried about how it drives, more specifically how my knee's doing, and I'm actually really rather pessimistic, but right now I'm happy to say that I don't feel anything. I just let my knee down, it did not pop. It's like, oh, is that a miracle? Okay, well, we got a straight road, so without wheeling up, leaning forward to try to put some of that weight on the, holy crap! Again! I wasn't even, oh, there's no, oh, Actually, it wasn't that bumpy, but there's no control. This thing is insane. Where are all these holes in the road? Who put these there? Come on. Oh, it's a dead end. I went on a gravel road for no reason. Good to know. All right, great. I'm on a gravel road I don't even want to be on. Oh, it's a guy on a motorcycle. Okay, let's see what he wants.
Is that the 12.9?
Yes, it is.
Alright, I want to get one of those bikes.
I do too.
What?
I said I do too. I'm borrowing this one because I wanted to try it out. So, but yeah, dude, it's insane because there's power everywhere. You can be cruising into any second and you can snap it and can you remember the name?
Terrific.
Yeah, I am.
I can't see your face, but I heard it.
Oh, well, how did...
Subscribe to you on YouTube.
Oh, well, thanks. That's pretty cool. Is that a freaking armadillo sitting there, or is that a rock?
That's a rock.
I was gonna say it's gotta be a rock. Is not moving. That's a armadillo not doing his job. It's really cool to run into you. What's your name?
Marcus.
Marcus, dude. Friggin' awesome. All right, man. I'm gonna take off here nice and carefully because it's like gravel road and I want to slide out. But all right.
Have fun.
Thanks, man. You too. I'm going on the cons, but to be honest, I wish this bike was louder. Of course, that can be changed with the exhaust. It's not quiet by any means. It's just I wish it was like when it's purring really low, like I wish it was like I don't know that loud. That's too loud. I want it to be louder. I think it's pretty good sound. I would want it to be a little bit louder. I want the bars to be a little bit lower too. I think the next generation the bars are a little bit lower. What's another reason I would have liked to ride one of those? I think the pegs are the same. Oof, there goes my knee. There are small differences between this generation and the new generation. It's one reason why I would like to drive it, but little things like that. I would level this out some more. I'd add some more bars. I don't know what this cluster looks like on the next generation one, but I mean, like, I'm doing just fine with it so far, dude. I'm learning. Whoa! Make me hit the brakes like that. It's making me learn where I can pull it. Man, it's awesome! Anytime you want. There's a couple bikes. Anytime you want, you can just freaking rip it. It's the best. Going on the pessimism train, there's a fair chance that, like, freaking my knee just might be screwed for life. I don't know what happened, by the way. It's just been getting worse over time, and it's gotten to the point now where I'm dreading next year because I know how much pain I'm going to be in, and it's really lame. I'm just trying to circumvent it, and one way I thought is to look for a different bike, and this is the next bike I would consider concerning my needs. Speaking of which, I had to pass up a Ducati Pringle, which was a real shame because I think the Pringles are the best. Pringles, sorry. That's what I call it. The Ducati Panigale. I think those are the best looking bikes, all of them. 899, 959, V4, specifically the V4. Best looking bike ever. And I do really care about how a bike looks, but as it is right now, I can't make that priority number one. Although that being said, of the hyper nakeds or nakeds, this is my favorite looking, so that's just a happy coincidence. Even more happy is the fact that it's not a 4-stroke, it's a 2-stroke, it's a twin. So it's just it's falling in line with what I want. Based on the stuff I've been reading into about this bike, the biggest con really is the fact that it's expensive. It's the most expensive one you can get. Like, if you're trying to save as much money as you can or get more bang for your buck, this is not the best option objectively. There are better performing bikes for less. So that's a thing. But like I said, how it looks is important, but for me right now what's important is my freaking knee. I wish I had a frame slider up there. It's like, no, on my 650 there's a frame slider and I'll just lay my leg up on the slider like that. I mean, I guess I could do this. Feels good just stretching my knee out. At least I can do that. This is not a solution, by the way. I do that on my 650, so turning it nice and slow, being a nice baby about it. Just twist the throttle, twist, because you could snap it, but I'm afraid to do it because it'll wheelie. That's probably my favorite thing about this bike. You can be fast without sacrificing the comfort of a lower speed motorcycle. Like, this is probably more comfortable than my 650 and it's faster. Sorry, I forgot about the whole Panigale thing. So I had to pass up buying a nice Panigale that I would have liked. I've wanted a Panigale for a long time. I'm not gonna wait for you. Third gear, pretty impressive for down there in third gear. I've wanted it for a long time, but the reason I decided not to buy it, among other things, is the fact that I don't know that I'd ride it very much at all. Because between the 650 and the V4, considering my knee, I probably wouldn't last, not the V4, sorry, I probably wouldn't last on that Panigale for very long. I'd just be like, I can't do this, it hurts too much. So that's a shame. Not to mention, it's more of a top speed bike, which is really only good for highway, or like if you do track days all the time, or you have a bunch of leader bike speedy boys you want to ride with all the time, then yeah, but like that's not the kind of riding I do. I freaking, oh thanks, oh you're not supposed to wait for me, I won't make you wait. I just like ripping around town, farting around town. I don't want to zip because he's cutting over. Yeah, see this guy? Yeah, see, you gotta anticipate somebody, but if he wasn't, then whoa! That's the freaking best. Any point you want. I love that. It's like a secret weapon. I said secret ninja, like a secret weapon. It's a nice cruiser sport naked thingy, but then all of a sudden, wah! Wow. It's weird, like just stopping at a light, looking over at cars, I can already tell I'm taller. It's got to be like 2 to 4 inches, not much, but I can feel the difference. I'll take height. In fact, I could stand to be higher off the ground. The tallest bike I think I've ever ridden was the Honda Africa Twin. That was insane. I was like, holy cow, I'm like way up here. Nice and slow. This is about as fast as my 650 can go. I'm simulating my 650, which now feels slow, but that right there was a really good simulation of the speed my 650 does. It could have done maybe a little bit faster than that, but I mean, this thing is insane. Oh. 3 wheelies in a row. Not wheelies. The front tire came off the ground. I shouldn't call it a wheelie, but just it's so much. I'm really rambling on here. I'm just trying to tell you as much as I can glean from this bike as possible, but in a way it's not scary. I don't want to get over, I changed my mind. In a way it's not scary, and that I think most riders could get on this and feel pretty comfortable, but at the same time you gotta be careful. You can't just turn the throttle. You have to be measured all the time, because you will just wheelie without even trying. This bike wheelies without even trying. So you have to always keep that in mind. So it's very interesting. I haven't had a riding experience like that. All right, let's see what getting off this bike is like. That kickstand's in a weird spot. All right, it doesn't feel really heavy. I mean, it's probably a little bit heavier than my 650, but oh man, I like the way it looks. I mean, it needs some work. I mean, to make it look super special, but like, just make that more meaty. Change some looks, change some sounds, and I'd be happy with that. I'm going to keep riding this. I'm going to go for maybe another hour or so. It's really important to science it up for... Oh, it just popped. Anyway, I'm going to keep it up, just testing it out. I wasn't planning to get another bike, but I might, because this is not bad enough to see a doctor yet. I mean, maybe I should. But it's gotten to the point where it's really starting to dictate my whole plan for next year, because I was going to just use a 650, but now I'm just like, dude, I don't know if I can ride that much on that bike. So I'm going to ride this one some more, put the hours in, see how my knee does, and consider it, man. I mean, I might have to get one. I'm liking it so far, but I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I'll just keep riding, see how my knee does, and see what I need to do. So thank you so much to Justin for letting me ride it. I appreciate you so much. Thank you guys for watching. I'll keep you updated, or I won't. It might be a surprise. But thanks for watching. Bye.